This is the newsroom.
This is the newsroom for Friday, March 28, 2025. We're broadcasting to you on E1, SKAR TV, NTN, and Tarzee TV in Bartica. In the headlines, more on Secretary of State Marco Rubio's Georgetown talks, this time his response to regional trade concerns.
We're going to take it back and explain to those who are in charge of trade policy that there are some implications to applying it to certain nations who are partners.
Melly Mel granted US $7,500 bail after 2-week detention by ICE over visa overstay. In tonight's feature, we look at how Aroua Gold Mine is empowering women. And in sports, spinner Ashmead Nedd aims for 4-day success with Guyana Harpy Eagles. The Sport Minister has high expectations of CARIFTA Games athletes. With the news, I'm Kurt Campbell. We're glad you can join us. First up, trade discussions between Guyana and the United States concluded on Thursday in Georgetown with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio pledging to raise concerns regarding the potential impact of President Donald Trump's proposed tariffs on China-made vessels. The issue was highlighted by the Air government, who expressed apprehension about how such tariffs might affect trade in both Guyana and the wider CARICOM region. Rubio addressed the concerns, explaining that the primary goal behind the tariff plan is to create alternatives to China's dominance in global shipbuilding.
We need to have an ability to build ships in this world that don't just come from China. Okay, I think it's just dangerous to have one country in the world building all the ships. I assure you that, and we don't want a war, but I mean, they're not going to build ships for us if we get in trouble, right? So we need to have alternatives to Chinese shipping. We're trying to create a market and a demand for alternatives to Chinese shipping construction. And I'm the first one to admit that the United States made a terrible mistake when we deindustrialized and we allowed all these industries to leave our country and go to other places. Now we're paying the consequences, but we have to fix it. So I do believe, I can't speak, the trade portfolio does not belong to the Department of State, but I do believe that we will take this back, because we've heard this not just here, Mr. President, we've heard it throughout our visits here in the Caribbean, and we're going to take it back and explain to those who are in charge of trade policy that there are some implications to applying it to certain nations who are partners and who are seeking to develop their economies in ways that I think serve the national interest of the United States, not to mention the national interest of our partner nations, and see what can happen. So I can't make a commitment to those exemptions, because that's not something we handle at the Department of State. What I can commit to is that I will most certainly raise this issue as a recurring issue in multiple places, that it would have a real, detrimental effect on economic development.
Social media activist Melissa Holden, known as Melly Mel, has been granted bail following her arrest by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, 2 weeks ago. Holden, who appeared before Judge Mwangi Francis for a master hearing on Friday, secured a bond in the sum of US $7,500 and will be released from detention once the bond is posted. Melly Mel, who appeared in court wearing a brown jumpsuit and holding a book, was visibly shaking her head throughout the proceedings. Her attorney, Joyce Booth, addressed the court, clarifying that Holden's case was solely staying in the United States and not connected to her political activism. According to Booth, Holden entered the U.S. in 2022 and later married U.S. citizen Paul Holder in 2023. The couple has been living together in Brooklyn, New York for the past 2 years. Booth further stated that her client has no criminal history, is not considered a threat, and is not a flight risk. Holder's background checks revealed no criminal history, the department told the court, supporting Booth's claims. The 38-year-old activist entered the U.S. on a visa and has been awaiting approval for a pending adjustment of status with U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, since 2003. Holder's I-130 petition is approved, and the I-485 adjustment of status application is still pending. Holder's situation raised questions from the judge due to her marriage to a U.S. citizen, which might typically make her eligible for a waiver in such cases. However, her overstayed visa has resulted in her being placed in removal proceedings. Despite the circumstances, Booth maintains that the case should be treated as a standard immigration issue rather than something more complex. In a bid to accelerate Guyana's economic transformation, Foreign Secretary Robert Prasad is calling on the Guyanese diaspora in Canada to seize a unique opportunity at the upcoming job fair in Toronto this Saturday, April 5. The event is set to connect skilled professionals with some of the country's top companies and public agencies, paving the way for Guyanese nationals abroad to play a pivotal role in their homeland's development.
Every sector in Guyana will require more skills, more personnel, because we have a very diversified economy, and which is growing across. So people tend to think we're only looking at skills within the oil and gas sector. No, we're not only looking at skills there, but the private sector has reached out. They need skills in terms of accountants, engineers. They need skills in terms of to move in the construction sector, in the tourism and hospitality sector, in agriculture, food processing, and ICT. All these are areas in which we require more skills, more human resources, especially at the level in which we want to move it to the next level, in terms of expanding and modernizing and allowing Guyana to capture and to be in a position to make full use of the opportunities that exist out there. We've been having a series of job fairs targeting the diaspora to attract skills and investments back to the country, particularly the private sector, because we're more or less facilitating the private sector to reach out Guyanese who have an enormous amount of skills, whether it's North America, or whether it's in the Caribbean, or also neighboring countries. And we've had successful job fairs in Trinidad and Tobago, we've had in Suriname and in New York. And we're now concluding this leg, having it in Toronto, where Canada has the second largest number of Guyanese living outside of Guyana, after the United States. And they have certainly a wealth of not only skills, but also individuals with capital and can support the transformation that is taking place in our country. So we'll be having this job fair in Toronto on the 5th, Saturday the 5th. And I want to encourage Guyanese living in Toronto and throughout Canada to come out to meet with the companies, meet with a number of government agencies, and to see what role they can play, or for the role they can play in the transformation process that is taking place in our country. Because we need every single Guyanese hands on deck. And for us, using these job fairs is a way in which we can garner and reach out and engage our diaspora in a much more meaningful and substantial way. But as I said, this is an exercise we're facilitating for the private sector. It is not government going out there and recruiting, but rather we're creating this opportunity for companies to tell these individuals and these communities what skills are needed, and perhaps for them to take it forward.
General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Bartica, Thursday condemned all forms of violence, emphasizing that peaceful protests and freedom of speech should be respected and maintained.
Now, we condemn violence in all of its forms, political violence or any form of violence, domestic violence whatsoever. There should be no violence in the way we conduct our business. People can free to talk whatever they want. They're free to protest, but there must be no violence.
More news ahead. Stay with us. Welcome back, you're watching The Newsroom. Women are leaders. They play fundamental roles in society, with many holding key positions in huge companies and organizations. Yet, they face issues such as harassment and domestic violence. To celebrate women and provide help and advice if needed, the legal unit of Guyana's largest gold mining company, Aroua Gold Mine, on Friday held a women's conference. The event saw participation from a wide range of stakeholders, including government agencies.
In recognition of International Women's Day, which was celebrated on the 8th of March 2025 and is celebrated on the 8th of March annually, the company has decided to show its solidarity with women and to represent and to show respect for women who have been victims of domestic violence, sexual abuse, workplace discrimination, social issues which have been affecting women generally. We expect participation from our many stakeholders. The goal of the event is to have like-minded persons sit in one room to discuss issues which women face, since we believe that women are the backbone of our society. In fact, women are the backbone of the companies, AGM, Aranca, and Guyana. Women especially have barriers that men in our society are not also faced with. So highlighting these issues, it's very important. We're hoping that the aim of the event is reached to its audience. We're also hoping that the society will understand the company's solidarity.
So I think this is a particularly important undertaking from Aurora, and one that should be emulated by other organizations in the country. The Aroua Mine is still our largest gold miner, producer, and producing for many years. They're moving on the ground now, which results will be critical for participation in our economy, and women have to take their place. They ought to feel welcome and supported, and that they should also be good examples. The first thing is the level of awareness, the level of where the resorts and the opportunities are to better those issues and how to tackle those issues. And the fact that the government agencies are also represented and given talks about the challenges and what perhaps are the best efforts to resolve those problems.
AGM Inc. is the largest gold mining company in Guyana. We have both underground mining and open pit mining. In management for over 6 years. So the International Women's Day conference is important because there was insightful information being shared that touches on the many issues that women face in society today. Various government agencies are present where persons and survivors can seek information and legal advice or the necessary support regarding issues they may be faced with.
I believe that this event creates a platform for networking and mentorship for women. In times like these, we really find support, inspiration, and motivation, where women can meet and be recognized and identified as not just females, but skillful professionals.
General Secretary of the ruling People's Progressive Party, Dr. Bartica, on Thursday pointed to the connections between the Alliance for Change, AFC, and local businessman Azruddin Mohammed and his father Nasser Mohammed, saying that the people will not be fooled again by the AFC, no matter which new face they try to bring and win back political power.
And they know that this Azruddin and his father went to see Nigel Hughes, and Nigel Hughes bring the political leader of their party, Trotman, to sit in at the meeting because he wanted legal advice from Trotman. Trotman wrote down the legal advice. They know its part immediately thereafter. All the AFC candidates and people who were working with them in the past started working for Azruddin, every one of them, because it's another ploy to fool people again. So they bring the new face, the clown, the moron.
As part of a program to drive agrochemical application, President Dr. Irfan Ali said that the Ministry of Agriculture has been asked to explore the use of drone to apply fertilizers and chemicals to agriculture producers in Region 2.
We will be working on a specific program to drive technologically supported agrochemical application. And that is, I've asked our drone department to look at commercial drones that can apply the fertilizers and chemicals across the industry here in Essequibo, so we can support farmers in further reducing their cost of production and increasing their profitability. And also, we are communicating now, the Ministry of Agriculture have asked them to talk to the farmers on developing an enhanced paddy drying facility and storage facility. A modern paddy storage facility and an enhanced paddy drying facility. Because now, with the increase in production and yield that we expect to continue to grow, storage is becoming a big issue for the millers and the farmers. These are all initiatives that we have in train to further enhance the economy here in Region 2.
When the newsroom returns, the financial weather and bridge reports along with sport news with Avinash Ramzan. That's it for me, Kurt Campbell. Take care.
Discover opulent living at its finest. Introducing luxury units by Mac developers in an exclusive gated community with 24-hour security nestled in the heart of Providence. Featuring 18 meticulously designed 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom units, each boasting modern appliances, premium finishes, and a tastefully modern layout. These exclusive apartments offer 1,500 square feet of thoughtfully designed space, perfect
Welcome back to Newsroom. Avinash Ramsan here with tonight's sport. We're starting off with some cricket news. The Guyana Cricket Board has announced the inclusion of left-arm spinner Ashmead Nedd and fast bowler Isaiah Thurn in the Guyana Harpy Eagles squad for the upcoming 6th and 7th rounds of the West Indies 4-Day Championship. Details in this report. The defending champions, currently top of the points table, are down to play Leeward Islands Hurricanes from April 2nd in St. Kitts and Trinidad and Tobago Red Force from April 9th at Queen's Park Oval to wrap up the 2025 championship. The Guyana Cricket Board, in announcing the squad update on Thursday afternoon, said, and I quote, "Nedd strengthens the spin department while Thurn's return bolsters the fast bowling unit, both crucial as the Harpy Eagles push to retain their title. Thurn's presence enhances the team's ability to secure vital fast bowling points in the upcoming rounds. Gurukesh Moti will be unavailable as he departs for franchise cricket commitments, while seasoned batter Tejnarain Chandapal misses out due to injury." End quote. The squad reads Tevin Imlak, captain; Kemal Savory, vice-captain; Kevlin Anderson, Matthew Nandu, Raymond Perez, Kevin Sinclair, Kimo Paul, Nayal Smith, Veersamy Pramal, Ronaldo Ali Mohammed, Richie Loknath, Ashmead Nedd, and Isaiah Thurn. The Harpy Eagles currently lead the points table after 5 rounds with 102.6 points, maintaining a slim lead over Trinidad and Tobago Red Force with 101, with the Leeward Islands Hurricanes 79.6 rounding off the top 3. Barbados Pride, Jamaica Scorpions, the Windward Islands Volcanoes, the combined campuses and colleges, and the West Indies Academy complete the standings in that order. Now, Ashmead Nedd is setting his sights and making a significant impact for the Guyana Harpy Eagles in the final 2 rounds of the 2025 West Indies 4-Day Championship. Fresh from a stellar 2024 campaign, where his 33 wickets placed him 3rd among the tournament's leading wicket-takers, Nedd is poised to make his highly anticipated 4-day debut for the Eagles next Wednesday. Notably, all of Nedd's previous 4-day appearances were for the West Indies Academy, making his return to the Eagles a crucial addition as they push to defend their championship title. Having missed the previous 5 rounds, Nedd is eager to contribute to the Eagles' crucial title defense, bringing his proven wicket-taking prowess to the forefront in these pivotal matches. Harpy Eagles play the Leeward Islands Hurricanes at Warner Park from April 2nd, then the title-defining match against Trinidad and Tobago Red Force.
A pretty good feeling, the hard work had finally paid off, being able to be called to the Guyana Harpy Eagles franchise. Most definitely, I back myself, whether the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to play the cricket and enjoy the cricket. Guyana Harpy Eagles is in pretty good cricketing form, so it's just me going to add something different to the team. Red ball game I've been developing pretty well after having a standout season last year. Coming back home, just doing some fine-tuning in terms of some small skill set. Looking on at the players in training, everyone is in good headspace and I'm very confident, Guyana tends to play this cricket as a team.
Still in cricket, Royal Challengers Bengaluru made it 2 wins from 2 to go top of the IPL points table, beating Chennai Super Kings at home for the first time since 2008. The 50-run win also lifted RCB's net run rate. Chasing 197, Chennai Super Kings made 146 for 8 with Rachin Ravindra making 41 and MS Dhoni batting at number 9 and unbeaten 30 of 16. Josh Hazelwood took 3 for 21 and Yash Dayal and Liam Livingston 2 each for RCB, who earlier made 196 for 7. Skipper Rajat Patidar made 51, Phil Salt 32 and Virat Kohli 31. Noor Ahmed took 3 for 36 and Matisha Pitarana 2 for 36. IPL action continues on Saturday with Gujarat Titans against Mumbai Indians from 10 hours. On Sunday, Delhi Capitals clash with Sunrisers Hyderabad from 6 hours and Rajasthan Royals play Chennai Super Kings from 10 hours. Now, the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, Charles Ramson Jr., has high expectations of Guyana's contingent at the upcoming CARIFTA Games in Trinidad and Tobago. Guyana has traditionally been a dominant force at this event, set for April 19th to the 21st at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. The Athletics Association of Guyana aims to send a team of at least 30 athletes to Trinidad and Tobago for the Easter weekend competition. Notable names on the shortlist include last year's CARIFTA Games medalists Malachi Austin, Atalia Hinkson, Tiana Springer, Atoya Harvey, and Kaden Prasad. To ensure optimal preparation, the shortlisted athletes will participate in 2 intensive training camps on April 4th to 6th and April 11th to the 13th. These camps will focus on refining skills, enhancing physical conditioning, and building team cohesion. Minister Ramson is keen on the athletes putting on an excellent show, noting that government is fully in support of their endeavors.
When I see all of our athletes, as you're about to go to the CARIFTA Games, every single Guyanese here, we will be looking carefully at your performance and we will be cheering you on. We will be so proud of you when you achieve the medals representing Guyana, when you're beating the other countries at the CARIFTA Games. And you will do it. These games, I want the CARIFTA Games coming now will have the best medal showing that we've ever had before. That is what I'm expecting from you. So at these trials, I want you to know that this is an opportunity for you. An opportunity so that you can dream in the highest possible dreams. Because your future and your talent, no one else has it. All of you. We want the best for you. Don't ever forget that. We will do whatever it takes to continue to support you so that you can show the world who we are, and that is the best possible, best athletes in the world.
Meanwhile, the Athletics Association of Guyana, the AAG, is adopting a collective input strategy, harnessing the wealth of knowledge and experience from its coaching fraternity to ensure optimal preparation for the upcoming CARIFTA Track and Field Championship in Trinidad and Tobago. Everyone's input is important, emphasized Mark Scott, the newly elected first vice president of the AAG, as the association embarks on a mission to equip Team Guyana with the best possible tools for success at the Easter weekend competition. Scott revealed that while specific coaches will be appointed to travel with the team, the AAG is committed to maximizing the resources available from all recognized coaches across Guyana during the crucial preparation period. This inclusive approach aims to leverage the diverse expertise within the coaching community, ensuring a comprehensive and tailored training regimen for the athletes. The camps will be from April 4th to the 6th and then April 11th to the 13th, and the final team will be announced by April 8th.
From the AAG standpoint, we are planning 2 weekend camps for the athletes who are selected to represent Guyana, and we plan to involve all coaches, not only the coaches that will accompany the team to CARIFTA, all coaches, we plan to involve everyone because this is a collective thing, you understand? A collective, persons may be strong in some areas, some may be strong in other areas. So it's a collective thing. We will engage all the coaches to come to the camp and to give their part in helping the athletes. I solely believe that's why I'm emphasizing all coaches. You don't want to discriminate, you understand? Whether your athlete has qualified or did not make the team, you should be a part of the coaching staff to prepare these teams.
And with that, we've come to the end of the news for this evening. Of course, you can find updates on these and other stories on our website, newsroom.gy, and all social media platforms. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Avinash Ramzan. Thanks for watching. Do have a great weekend. See you back here on Monday.